civic engagement. And for as usual, say thank you to all we partner there where they make sure say we reach our hosts and all the family them and una members of the states where they always show up for help we for communicate directly to the people of Salone. Today a special day now, not least because I get the person where I can say that sets the pace for me as Minister of Information. When I pass the baton to me, the Right Honorable Allman de Colorado, but not in real name Nando, name Mohamed Rhaman Swarray, and the Minister now for Labor and Social Security in the Canada for can talk about what's in the happen at that sector today. We get other big allegiance that we're going to introduce in a minute. But before I get today, as usual, I can like for start with the news updates. We get some brief updates where I want for just share of developments them with or across government. President Biodon will launch the medium-term national development plan na Moyamba. So this the Ministry of Development and Planning. Then they do launch of residents in medium-term national development plan. Wait for the first say the plan now from 2024 to 20. In the past, the plan years, guys. In the past, the plan and just for 5 years, but now 2030. We mean say it tied as well to the United Nations the Sustainable Development Plan. So this plan we His Excellency launched, it outlive. So at the end of President Bio in term, the next president will get 2 years for complete the implementation of that plan for ensure say continuity be. As soon as I know the next president for be of the SLPP as well. Oh man. Anyway, there will be free and fair election. Would I ever win? So this mic here no allow me for shine. All right, let's try again. The European Union Ambassador to Salone, Manuel Muller, don't pay a courtesy call on the Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas, SQ, the House of Parliament. He said he go there for assure the Speaker, say the EU, they continue for support Salone and then committed to the development of this country. One group would then call Solidaridad West Africa to engage farmers and other stakeholders them on the EU then deforestation regulation. Then do this in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and the Produce Marketing Board na Salone. Then conduct these engagements with various people them from all across the country. And the director of Solidaridad West Africa, when Andrew Morrison, been talk about the goal when I follow with tap with people in the courts. They tick them, which man they call deforestation. The First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency Dr. Fatima Madabio, don't do women's empowerment and public health program across the country. They advocate for women and girls, them, and then particularly on public health care. And he also take this not just across the country, but also at the United Nations. Recently, as you know, he don't spearhead the transformation of the 34 military hospital in Freetown. The hospital facility will expand them from a 70-bed medical center to 600-bed multi-purpose hospital complex for women and girls. Then the First Lady said this is part of a signature Hands of Our Girls initiative, and as most of you know now, in personal efforts, this also government money usually immobilize your resources and don't create the state-of-the-art world-class hospital now. 34. Una no good date if supposed to go and check out and see the amazing things we the First Lady don't do. Members of Parliament then join the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas, for celebrate the $2 billion concession agreement between the governments of Salone and the Gento Group of Companies Limited. The agreements now for the design, finance, construction, and operationalization of the seaports within the Dublin and Ricketts communities of Banana Island and logistics hub where they as well na Kent. These agreements now 100% Sierra Leonean owned and led. So for the first time, government they give a major multi-billion-dollar concession to a Sierra Leonean company when we brother Mohamed Gento Camara, I think Allman Sabiam, and the canal and bring major investment for transform the Banana Island and Ricketts area. So now all don't see them all over the news. More news they actually on this ports area. We also know say Arise themselves don't get their agreements. We now the Ministry of Information and Civic Education will provide more information, particularly on the dry ports where Arise also don't sign on. I remember say we in Canada and so on. I say government of Salone are friends with Arise, and some of them be the rights, but we say we don't pull all thing. Arise don't go. We tell on I say we governments will think big and want for commend particularly Arise IIP because they also show say they're committed to Salone and want for appreciate their leadership and the work. We now they don't also sign this major agreement as well. Instead don't go parliament, instead don't come out. So we get big two major agreements that we get for deal with. One at seaports, one at dry port. So we'll go bring more information to now on them information here, on that issue here. Final news that the Ministry of Internal Affairs don't suspend timber harvesting and transportation across the country from the 12th of July to 31st of October 2024. The ministry say now follow them combat environmental challenges during this rainy season. The ministry is in charge of internal security and they don't call all MDA and stakeholder them for comply. And for announcing next week, instead of Wikanaya on Tuesday, we go into money, and for the first time, we host the first gentleman of the country, His Excellency President Julius Malabio, at the Presidential Town Hall. We go dinner into money next week. When I will see the flyer at the end of today, we go invite Unawe Blans come. Now yeah, una get reserved seats. Unawe Blans come. Una get reserved seats. Obviously, I've been to money, it will be big, and the president want to talk to him citizens them on 1 year of the president's implementation of the Big Five. The bar in safe, they can talk to the citizens, and we will take questions directly from citizens all across the country. We do them in partnership with AYV, SLBC, and other media houses them. And we also be supported by our long-term partner, AfriCell. So I want next week, on a clear on our calendar, we will announce that the first term on this platform, His Excellency the President, but it will be a town hall. On a need for send questions them in advance. As usual, we commitment for ask the question them, but this time not to unanomo the citizens themselves forget the priority. Okay. Now, we come to a panel. Very distinguished panel we get today. From the National Monitoring and Evaluation Agency, we get Dr. James Edwin, who is the Director General. We get Madam Chelcy Alma Heroe, who is the executive member for the Salone Labour Congress. And of course, we get the Honorable Minister, we don't need any introduction whatsoever. We na Minister Mohamed Rhaman Swarray. We na the Minister for Employment, Labor, and Social Security. I have announced to una say here as well in this hall, Sidonaya, we get Mr. Max K. Conte, one of the Secretary General for the Salone Labour Congress. And idea for make sure say any question we get for deal with labor issues between him and the executive member, they will answer on a question then. When I don't say that the ministry will job, now for provide on the the right information and the right people we go be accountable to now. Of course, the first speaker I get for be the minister, my colleague, and my in-law as well, my married born sister. So I can always get our the Olam. Mr. Minister, you're responsible for one big area of the Big Five. Yes, people know say as part of the Big Five, President Bio promised for bring almost job. On a journalist on for Sabi 500,000 job, not so. The minister is responsible for that. Also responsible for make sure the labor situation of the country, the welfare of we. In fact, your colleague minister then Kidimona, you say we can go do there in tour there, they go old mining companies and so accounts where they say, we in a minister there, you know, even deal with only welfare issues, you go deal with external welfare issue. But on a season, a very active minister. But Mr. Minister, question they don't come up around particularly how they track President Bio's commitment on labor issues. How would they count almost job that don't be created? The reform that we don't put in place, we don't work on now for help government also for getting due and for make sure say the citizens the way they work, the interest they be taken care of. When I know say this minister back now talk so would they get for us, let's say 12 minutes because I think he gets small slide as well. So you would take in time and just presents an opportunity for like present how far you don't come so far. You want to talk particularly about the survey, how did they track, how did they measure, and the work the way don't go. So, Honorable Minister, you get 12 minutes, sir.
Thank you, my colleague and brother, and in-law, Siba. I'm really excited today for this press conference. For indicates how much value placed on her. Today, my ministry, the host development partners, will discuss funding for the Decent Work Country Program Phase 2, when an ILO-sponsored process. We already become the Decent Work Country Program Phase 1 being done. So, but that's as important as that, and I will left for Canada because this is equally important. If you look up people then say for able no say now for the work. As he still look young and fresh, well, I'll continue to watch this space after a few years. If you'll be still as handsome and young as you are, I was like that when I took up the mantle of leadership at the Ministry of Information and Communications, you know. So towards the elections, well, I will see. You know, so towards the elections, my daughter looked at me and said, Daddy, my 12-year-old daughter there, said, Daddy, so you are very old now. So look at the veins on your neck. I said, I pray that you don't go back to that information ministry. And she is named after my late mom. So after the appointments, I went to a new ministry. She said, thank God, I'm your mother. I prayed. That is why I did not go back to that ministry. Anyway, she wants me to rejuvenate so I don't grow faster than I was poised to. So, my brother don't raise boku issues. We're all aware His Excellency don't commit for create 500,000 jobs during this tenure. So, but if you don't know where side they go, you're not going to know if you reach it. So, we as a ministry, we don't devise a mechanism for tracking jobs and they will generate. Lord, not also forget say, NAMI, they supervise the National Social Security and Insurance Trust Scheme. We, by law, anybody when an employer, if you register with NACIT, if you also make sure, say, you take 10% from, you for pay 10% on behalf of that employee and 5% from the salary, making it a total contribution of 15% for cover contingencies of old age, invalidity, and death. With any of them contingencies, then they fall due. So we get data we get from NACIT. We also get independent data we get from non-compliant employers then who know the register. So we are aware in the medium-term national development plan, the president may not decouple waiting to make these 500,000 jobs. We don't talk about short-term jobs, medium to long-term jobs. All land jobs they need to consider. We don't develop a mechanism for tracker. I go ask me the IT team, let them just share out, and let them take one through. I think so that one is very important. I go pause more. This is not good for the permit time. In the whole. Okay. So you can talk to family more time. I know they talk today. I'm used to making a lot of long speeches. I want to leave that to Siba now. With permission, sir. Can I explain? Use my mic. Hey. You don't go? No, you can't. Just 2 minutes, sir. Who's already a matter now?
He said, "Are you shaking the laptop?"
Okay, on shaking.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, honorable ministers. So from the platform, like how the honorable minister BD say, when president talks for create 500,000 jobs, the Ministry of Employment, Labor and Social Security, through the leadership of the honorable minister, proactively go to work, and to which we devise a mechanism what we call the Australian Labor Market Information System. Within this system, they do in any country, basically, it ensure for track, for instance, employment data on the formal and non-formal sector. We include, for instance, the one day way they do then clean a job, menial jobs them. Also the track, for instance, migration workers. We don't do a lot in the part of we people them where they go work Saudi Arabia and other countries them we will not really know within the government agencies them, the private investment agencies then as salon under labor don't contribute towards national building. And also we get what we call enterprise data and then the occupational safety health data where they come on board. We'll also get the labor card data where they show disparity to government say this is not the total number of people interested in engineering at this particular crucial time, but then they need job. This will help government for plan and inform in a certain way for create certain job in then areas than they. If you see here, for instance, just in 2023, as our last year, where Honorable Minister come, we don't able for track under labor cards, people will come for actually apply for labor cards, wait for take the labor card, because you they take labor card because you don't get a job. But clearly for indicate to we say, these are the gaps area, the gray areas to which government need for actually do more, either in terms of skills from the tech work, etc., etc. 1,123 placements will happen as in 2023. And this one with the green, 742 migrant workers. If you click, you point your hand now, for instance, just point your hand on the...
Okay, so now just go to how you fulfill new jobs then.
Yeah.
Let me tell me, I don't know it around too much.
Okay.
Yes.
I think the internet, so...
Okay, so let's continue.
Yeah, so what's now the main use of the Australian labor market platform is that we get people them, for instance, when we the young one them, me the job seeker, I want to apply for job. So I can come to this platform, just like how you get LinkedIn, or maybe like where you get Career SL. You they come now, you they create account under the job seeker profile. Once you create, no, not this one, the other one. Once you create your account, what will happen is at the end of the day, you go able to get access to posted jobs based on your CV. And if you are an employer, you also be able to create an account and you register with Ministry of Labor. So once, for instance, you did it, you go able to post a job where we call job matching. So automatically, if me read computer science, and then I don't upload my CV, there is a job in engineering, those jobs will be matched with me automatically, and then I go able to receive my email, and then I will apply for that job. So statistically, because now short presentation we did do, and then it's becoming blurry in here based on the internet. If I don't show you, for instance, the data actually where we get as a candidate where you apply, It's now live if you want to apply. And as an employer, you can able to create your account and also apply. As super admin, I can able to see all of those applications.
How many jobs do you don't place so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Minister now left me
No.
One.
See, this is important.
Yes.
You already don't whet people the appetite, say the paragraph for go address people the next week, not so? Yes. You know, when you and Big Man meet up at talk, now I mean don't say it create 500,000 jobs. Now a moment now for go tell people then say in this 1 year, now this I don't do. So I talk to me not go for reach here now. We'll make sure so we get the data. So everybody should look forward to that press conference. That's how meeting with the president get. We really, like I say, I have an opportunity to get it, and we have it. Yeah, NASI they give we all employers from June last year. We don't register out there, and we get other way. Then this tracker there, other means and forget. So we get data. Yeah, the president will talk with confidence from a position of strength, you know. But then in a paper say go talk to now. So what have I achieved at the ministry apart from this platform where we track jobs? And this now for the purpose of this conversation, we'll limit to this. But this is nothing where they track the whole gamut of person employment life. From the time you seek a job, from the time you left, you join NASIT, this platform will be useful to you throughout. Now, I want to talk about one of the things where you go see, we not go look very big, but for me, it's huge. When we started off at the Ministry of Employment, Labor and Social Security, with social staff, I think they are one of the worst in terms of staffing in the country. I am pleased to note that following a 10-year drought of new staff, 10 years, no new staff the Ministry of Employment not take. Boku don't old, Boku don't die, Boku don't move on. Then the same people then things in a punishment. They're not like for good. I'm happy to note that we don't get clearance after a lot of lobbying and convincing the Ministry of Finance for employ close to 200 staff members there. You know, that recruitment process, the advanced stages. So check our website in coming days. You will be able to apply there, and they are really decent jobs. You know, so see, you can help us popularize this tracker. That is very important. More importantly, the first time you are not in, I've been mentioned, so the review work permit fees will be known to that one day. Waiting at the impact of that, I want to talk to now. Quick in figures. I don't want for the talk figure now, see. Yes, I want for the talk figure. Small. So what don't do that one? I know so will be review, will be increased work permit fees. Then one of the things we don't begin the gain a lot of traction at the ministry. Yeah, everybody, even one we been doubt a lot. Now no say, these reforms could be very progressive. For example, if you look at 2022, the maybe get 8,307,429 loans. Now, the total work permit fee there for 2022. Take 2023. 2023, there was a slight dip. The maybe raised 7,136,834 loans. Now, let me get. What do we have now under the watch of Radio Swarray Nayaso? Come in. So we are going to review work permit fees. We make a lot of maloa around. So from January to July, and July we just did mid-July, we have collected 16,887,845 loans. This is more than a quantum leap. It's more than doubling. So this is what good policies will do for the country. So labor is not going to be the graveyard that it's been. We're going to contribute very positively to national development. By the time we're done 1 year, the story will change completely. So
where the money to go?
Oh no, this money we know the handle. It go directly to the consolidated fund. In fact, as a matter of fact, for when we come in, I have not signed one work permit very deliberately because a manual, and we're in very advanced stages for digitalize both. I work with my colleague now, immigration, Honorable Al-Hussein Kane, for digitalize both the resident and work permit processes within very advanced stages. I'm sure in the next 90 days, before the end of the year, we'll be fully digital. We can go to Elakidena Bush. Any side, we'll be able to run after you, let you there honestly and rightfully. So a lot of things are happening. That on one side, one day. See, I also want to talk to you about other developments at the ministry. You don't say that be quick.
Can you order 2 minutes so you don't left?
Yeah. So what I come in the last couple of weeks, then we do a lot of capacity building. We don't just do one, then this year on ethical labor migration. Yesterday we hold one day. The other one we been get we review the policy on labor migration. We see Boko of brother and sister, then they go abroad. They go to the Gulf country, then the Arab country there. Now then they hey Papa government, we don't can is number. Then they say I see them in Libya. So we are saying then policy measures, there are policy pathway there, and for let people they understand, say there is a straight and narrow path, we're legal, we're dignified, and we're not the right thing for the way cheap, and we the Ministry of Labor the money through social through partners. I think say I want to encourage every Sierra Leonean for do that, because we know say with the right motivation, Sierra Leoneans and say go able do. We also don't do a lot of other things there. This year we go ILO. I go there with my colleague, the Secretary General of the Labour Congress. I go there with Chelcy and other people there. So already I don't tell now a tripartite partnership this. Me they represent government, this they represent Labour Congress, Mr. Collier they represent Employers Federation. So what I put on social media say, I lead the tripartite delegation. Man I say, hey, who's that tripartite come on? Because tripartite don't get currency in a salon now following recent events. Tripartism is as old as 1919. Yeah, following the Philadelphia Declaration, you know, we then formed the ILO. Yeah, so we've been on the go. In fact, this year ILO, the Labour Congress, go tell you say was the most successful way Sierra Leone ever get since independence. We'll go see the Secretary General, we'll go see the Director General. I say Sierra Leone, I don't make the work so easy for me. It's even in other countries like Nigeria, other one, I go for meet Labour Congress separately, I go for meet government separately, I meet employers separately. But you guys are so united. This is the rare meaning of tripartism. Yeah? So we talk about that one day. We also want to talk about the fact say this year, you know, what will come in. Salome non pay, I think that the last time we've been paying around 1976. When my colleague been there, Kototimbo, we been non pay go far. But now I want to say Salome fully paid up as a member, a respected member of the International Labour Organization. What's in that mean? All the commodities here, right now, next week, a lot of training they go on for we before the end of the year. Because still they know we don't sign up to 1976, including the Maritime Labour Convention, the Social Safety Convention, and several others. We don't ever report them from 1976. And when they look here, they say, which country this? You don't even report what you are doing. So we get workshops there now, ILO they facilitate there. We'll bring in all the partners then from marine resources to Sierra Leone Maritime Administration to the Naval Wing to Ministry of Transport for the Maritime Labour Convention. We camp the Social Safety Convention. We get NACID, with social partners of course. You get NACSA, all them people in there. Of course the Statistics Convention. You get them various people in the camp at the business. So a lot. In fact, I've said to somebody, there is a very quiet revolution going on at the Ministry of Employment, Labor and Social Security.
Right.
If I knew earlier and I had a say, I would have saved myself all those unnecessary wrinkles and gone straight into labor. By now, this story would have been different. But we are there.
I like how the minister don't take time for say, in your family, pray to God, let them pull out information. Then that means me, my own family now, what's now let's say. My family then now there for glad with me there, and I didn't no more all day no more for dealing with the stress. I really want to tell the minister plenty thank you for all the news here. We digitize all the process them we get for deal with work permit issues. It don't increase the revenue we government gets significantly. Now you transparently see the data, then they collect and track all the sector them, including the informal sector. So we will present His Excellency the right information on how we get all this job them. Internationally don't transform our reputation from the 70s will be last paid up. This minister don't come on board and make sure say we now a paid up member. That mean Bakuti it means we get access to all the benefits them. It also means we go to meeting now, then they treat with respect, we they talk. People don't understand what they mean. And then they all are part of the, as they call a revolution, we don't happen na this ministry where the minister don't take over. When I don't say a man where they some side, better they did it. So I'm for telling thank you and congratulate them for that. Auntie Chelcy, so Labour Congress. Some people don't really still understand what now on a role, how whose role una they play and how una they complements. The minister say una tripartite. Say una, I will explain our plan says it's tripartite just means in 3 sides. So una your side. Give people a small information on waiting at the role of the Salon Labour Congress in this fete and in this work with the minister the lead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. Good afternoon to all ministers and to colleagues. So before I go into waiting Labour Congress to do, almost of we know about Labour Congress now. Almost of we know, okay, other than are we not a worker? Let's put your hand up. If you're not a worker, put your hand up. All right, so we all are working now. Then, if you know about Labour Congress, put your hand up. Wow. The body way responsible for your welfare one, you know, Sabi Bottom. Eh? So, okay, we go delve deep into this and we go stand up for make sure say the population know about the role of Labour Congress and let una enjoy the benefits of Labour Congress. So the Sierra Leone Labour Congress, the office day in 35 Wallace Johnson Street, and now the umbrella body for all workers. Once you work, you for be part of the Sierra Leone Labour Congress. Sierra Leone Labour Congress, now them, they organize workers them into trade unionism. We don't hear about trade union. Huh? So almost of we join union now. What? How you want to forget protection? The body will for stand for you. The workers' union. Sludge is not a workers' union. It's not. All right, so we senior go can deep into that. But so Sierra Leone Labour Congress, they for make sure say it protects you as worker, it ensures say it represents you at both national and international meetings them, and are the body way responsible for negotiate for better terms and conditions of service. So if you talk about salary increment, you talk of them terminate you illegally, then you don't know about Sierra Leone Labour Congress, then it's an issue. So the responsible organization, as minister, they say sludge day. No, not to sludge in Golden Day for talk about anything related to better terms and conditions of service. And for make sure say they relate with Sierra Leone Labour Congress when they want to do their negotiations. Then they. So Sierra Leone Labour Congress is the umbrella body for workers' activities. Anything related to worker in benefit one, to worker in protection one. Now Sierra Leone Labour Congress enrolled Dandy. So ensure say you try for lays for join your union because it gets an affiliate membership. Then at the Secretariat Sierra Leone Labour Congress and get affiliate members of 32 members, means different workers body. Like for we own body, we are the Sierra Leone Domestic Workers Union. Naimi they represent under the Sierra Leone Labour Congress. So you get different. You get teachers union, you get fishermen, you get so many unions them. So the role very vast and it's good that you as a worker you know waiting as a Labour Congress in role so that you go ensure say you utilize the facilities and the benefits them where they inside Sierra Leone Labour Congress for you. For later you get improvement in your economic life. Sierra Leone Labour Congress now in responsibility than for negotiate. As I said, tripartite. When government they sit down, the employer they sit down. Sierra Leone Labour Congress now they sit down for you, the worker. Then get members they waiting at the secretariat where they go represent for anything where they talk of employment benefits or employment service. Now Sierra Leone Labour Congress enrolled down there. So if you not be know about Sierra Leone Labour Congress and you don't get a minimum wage as this rate where it is. and no say you dey expect a much more better minimum wage. Now the responsible body that day for discuss with that to government for ensure say you get better terms and conditions of service. So I go left Nyaso first, and I know say we go talk more deeper, and we see NSF go come in for giving much more into what Israel Labour Congress they do. But we go now for ensure say we promote decent work.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much, Chelcy Alma Heroe. As I say, they represent the domestic workers, not so, inside the Salon Labour Congress. And that means the Salon Labour Congress, they bring together all the other groups them, where they represent different workers' rights. And then they advocate on behalf of workers in a salon for make sure say decent work day. Then they push, for example, things like minimum wage, the welfare of workers, benefits, social security, all them things. And they, in fact, all the small tools have been Labour Congress for, and say they don't protest or they don't strike, they don't talk for worker their rights, but they don't really advance and they do good work. So we can take some questions here on that. Before that, I want to turn over to me. Other guests, in 2024, Parliament passed a new act which established the National Monetary and Evaluation Agency. This agency, before it been done at the presidency, very critical. But plenty of people they ask, what's in NAMED they bought? What's on they do? What's in why important? In fact, somebody tell me, say, this na job for the boys. Now I say no. If I let listen and pay attention to the act, for let anything go before well, you need to get a competent, functional institution where they monitor, evaluate, so that the learning will be shared across government. So this is an opportunity for you to explain within the agency they about and how the agency doing work and why that agency they important. 7 minutes.
Thanks, Mr. Minister, and hi to people on the high table, everybody here. Good afternoon. The act, of course, not 2024, and this year, but we'll be done there for like 3-4 years. And I'm sure a lot of people here are NAMED they know instead of NAMIA, so the name just don't change. May not they ask that question whether there's a people NAMED. I know 90% should know about NAMED. The government, current government, we come into power. And the president sit down and say, look, we don't pour in money into this country. Even before self they came into power. Money to projects all over this country. Maybe before you and I were born. But we see, say, this country, instead of it, they go before, and at the end they go. When some of us are going to school, when some of women they go to school, electricity was not the problem, right? We get lights in our homes, tap, water then in the street. Schools are functioning well. Nobody know they go sit on the ground. But the question is, why all them things don't go behind? So the president thought it fit that there is a missing link. The money they go, but nobody know they follow the money for. She said, what in the money they for, then use them for that purpose. So now I say, okay, we need a monitoring system. We need a monitoring institution where we go after the money and see that the work is done. Now they go parliament in first sitting and tell parliament, say, look, me I they establish an institution where they get for go after that money and get for see who side they put the money, then for do the work. That's a big challenge. So now they decide, say, okay, I defend people then we for set up that. So we decide for come and set up this institution first at the Ministry of Development. When I know say development was with the Ministry of Finance, then serve, then break, then married. We then divorce, the first speaking, we then go born. Inside that divorce, we start for 2 years. But picking and they wait and slow for work or creep and work. Others even don't creep, then go just to work. Now, mate, as we sit on this so fast, we don't plan stuff. And because of that production of a job, in just a few years, I think 1.5 or 2 years, now president said, what you have been talking right. I take una, they put una right under me control now for oversight. That I see that una do what you una ought to do. So that's how we came under the presidency. Even when they don't do the NAMIA, we're still under the presidency. Now, every year, they get a budget circle. Press people should know that. It's already started. And don't say the circular round. And for that year, a lot of MDAs, even not all of them, they talk of projects. And we do understand that projects not they operate in a vacuum at all. In this country, you have towns. Each of us around here now from towns we come out, from a village. And the administrative structure of this country is what? The village and they make up what? A section make up a district makes up what? I don't even know the administrative structure here. The districts make up the country. So which means everybody has a village. And every village has a town. Every village has a project. So now several projects, they go to parliament every day, every year. Our responsibility is we get for monitor all them projects. And when some departments then get projects, we get several components. Then get what you call a program when you put the projects together. We monitor that. And from every ministry, department, or agency, like what the minister when they talk about, you get policies. Those policies sometimes are informed by evidence, sometimes maybe not. Decisions are made by ministries, departments, and agencies, but sometimes they then decisions, they don't get information for make that decision, they don't get the right data for make that information. So we go after ministries to see that the decisions then are evidence-based, then get the data for do that. That is basically what this institution was formulated for. There are other things like capacity development for M&E. Because we know, say, the work so big. The moment we took up this, we did a survey, and we see, say, most ministries been get information. Either the information they're not in a report form, or the information in this they're so packed that it's difficult to get inside the data day. And our answer to that was, you got to digitize. You got to put it in a system where you don't need Mr. A to look at project B and Mr. C to look at project D. You don't need to move from here to the Ministry of Labor to get a labor data. You don't need to move to the Ministry of Agriculture for get an agricultural data. In addition to that, you don't need to get out of this country and call a minister or a head of department for an information. All you need is go to that one-stop shop, press a button, and you go see what you want in agriculture, you go see what you want in education, you go see what you want to see in any other ministry, department, or agency. In addition to that, our system gets a local council, a local governance. That's what they want to do. We don't engage them. Forget the new information into this system so that we get that seamless shift from the local council to the national council so that whatever decision is made affects these two branches of government. And now that we don't do. So the bottom line is, we have established this system to look at all data pertaining to projects, programs, and policies. We then established an institution itself. We recently, then don't turn out to NAMIA. What does that mean? It don't give you additional muscle.
So before I've been directorate?
Yes.
And now an agency?
It moved from department, department in Moped, directorate in the president's office, now an agency. And as you know, an agency, nobody questions that now because we get a legal document. We go say, Mr. Minister of Information, that project you get on whatever.
Project. Okay.
But they get government money.
Yes.
So we can ask you who side that money don't go. Or like we don't go into the financial stuff yet. So that is what it is. Okay. And we don't form that partnership with most of these people. In fact, when I come first, the press, we call them at the NAMED office, within the number 1 railway line, opposite former presidential lodge or something.
Okay.
And we don't form partnership with most of the international bodies here. Now that make we they cry for money, but we not they cry too much.
So NAMEA wanna get money.
We not they cry. I not say we not get.
What's in our staff size at this moment?
It's about 33 people.
And all across the country, or
no.
Freetown on a day?
No, Freetown with it. Yes, an issue. We they say we they cry for money. So why do I have to expand and go into the regions, establish an office? From my own experience, most offices established in the regions, when you go there at 11 o'clock, then go work. When you go there after 2 o'clock, nobody's there. And they fairly have nothing doing. So what did we do? We decided to use this structure that we talk about. Every other local council gets an M&E person. To go beyond the councils, now make we establish community-based monitoring committees. Now, they want to know what they establish without paying them, except when they have to do our work. So, Minister, to answer your question, we have not regionalized. We will when it comes to that.
Okay. All right. I want to say thank you, Dr. Edwin, for that information there on NAMEA. NAMEA also gets very good digital platforms. In fact, I get the privilege earlier this year for chair the launch of one of the digital platforms then for help for track all government projects. This is now part of President Bio in commitment for accountability, for make sure say the people the money with the government they get, with the spend and rights, and that we get an agency we independently they track how all government money they. Now we'll go up into questions, but before we do that, I want to do the 3 questions that we'll get online. We directed to you, Mr. Minister. So I'll give you a quick chance. In the meantime, we're going to think of your question, and then I'll count on to 9 minutes. So, Mr. Minister, the first question say graduates turnover in a salon huge every year. It's a most than an academic. How the ministry they determine which area for train more people and or less people? Number 2 say recruitment and selection now big problem for the salon labor markets. How una they enforce policy guidelines for make sure say every employer for follow the policy guidelines? And then man they disturb me today. Number 3 with knowledge. They say this person says skills for the attitude and behavior elements for like you create a labor market way fit for purpose. How the ministry they help in that regard day? You get all the 3 questions answer? All right. Adea, I go. So just do one quick and then we'll open Leona, get a conversation. Yes.
Yeah, so graduate employment is not quite a major issue. In my previous life, another issues and they have been managed. Before I get into politics, I don't walk around here. Yeah. So I know that's quite a serious problem otherwise over the years. Part of the problem is that with the produce graduates there, we not get the required skills, the required competencies, and much needed experience. And most times not to their fault at all. We get a university system where the level of interaction with the private sector, with the world of work, are very limited. I see recently they talk about a job fair, they don't begin to expose them. But we see an opportunity for collaboration. Just like we don't develop a tripartite relationship, we, Labour Congress, Employers Federation, we think of a social dialogue where they bring employers then together the university, particularly the graduating students, Lord, they sit down, talk about, for example, Ruta Agokana and say, look, these are the skills and competencies we're looking for. So courses, even if not full-time degree courses, short courses can be customized for meet their demands and their needs. And I don't interview over thousands and thousands of people in over my 10-year leadership career in HR and OD. I know that problem it has continued to persist. The other thing we go do for making that one day happen, so my ministry gets what we call a trade testing unit. We, for the moment, not well equipped. That trade testing unit, now for people then, we not get normal, regular, formal education. When I can count this on, hey, me, I've been carpenter for 10 years, 15 years. So we can test them and validate their experience and give them some kind of qualification. So that's one way we're hoping to deal with it. In the meantime, I also know, job search, we don't conduct the same kind of thing early. A lot of efforts are being made, but then fairly disjointed. I think, we need to forget this. Because I've come by graduates, again, through no fault of theirs, with the struggle for put even a CV together. A CV is a marketing tool. Yeah? It's your, then call it elevator pitch, eh? That last you say, okay, tell me about yourself in 5 seconds. That's the way they talk. Where employer, they say, out of this 1,000 people, this is a candidate we have been looking for. So we need I see the norm begin that one day, but we need to get more interaction, a more structured manner for able to get an intercourse between industry, labor, and government for make sure we'll do this. So the recruitment and selection process rules, then this, that. Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, rules then they, number one, where you talk about the Employment Act of 2023, clear rules in you only bring in people, for example, where you don't prove, you don't get them local competencies and not there on the ground and skills then. That is when you bring in people who are struggling with that right now, I must confess. But again, because we process very manual. When we digitalize, you send them to we get capacity across this country and it's going to come with digitalization. We have vehicles, we have motorbikes, we can go to the most remote village. We'll get that one day. Be sure this is something I want for. Like, can I add the next day? Now I'm not going to tell that story. So yes, there are indeed challenges associated with that. Attitude, skills, knowledge, that one day, nothing now we'll get for make. Because everyone.
Yeah, so it is say basically, for let person thrive in the job market, you also need the soft skills. When how this person here, how they behave, how they comport himself, whether una they put any emphasis on that for building labor markets now.
Yeah, so Nadame had to talk about this dialogue, this more very structured dialogue. We don't get some people that will go help we for putting together. Yeah, we don't begin this conversation, right? We really want to see this happen. When I tell some of the employers, look, this skill they own they bring, we got Sierra Leoneans, they all get the competencies. Some of them tell me, say, I bring on to Salomon, the man go say, bribe in the rain, I make a car late, so then I forgot open the workplace. Yeah, no. Men are big advocates say, then jobs that was Salomon able to do, you don't need for bring in an expert. But they tell me, look, some man, I know say they are good Sierra Leonean young men and women. I also know say, some then if na shop on the work, then just they watch you, study you. The day rare thing happen, where you see the rare bulk, that day they don't act tempo run. Mr. says you don't get experience. They don't act tempo run. Next day you're able to, then they say, I see somebody, now the motor car where they drive. Now I take go all. Not only thief fellow, not thief tile, now the motor car, the whole motor car now can go.
Well, Minister, what can we do about it? What can your ministry do?
No, there's something we can do about it. I think, I don't work for literally all the mining companies in my days, from London Mining, Africa Minerals, Sarah Rootside, from the airport. But you see some of them guys there, now the same Sierra Leoneans there can go abroad back, not so, and they do very, very well. Now the culture, we need to change the culture, organizational culture. Peter Drucker, one of the biggest management scientists of in times, say, culture, it's strategy for breakfast. With the best of strategies, if you're not supported by organizational culture, na joke. So then same boy then, we'll go sell motokaya.
So we get a program for build organizational culture?
Well, that is something we'll get for work on. We don't have as yet. These problems they all they talk about, now 63-year-old problems. Some of them older than me. And they talk about repealing one law.
Way before 60.
Way before now. Yes, in fact, you're right. When they talk about the workmen's compensation, 1955, not so. Then the revised one in 1962. What's in that mean, the workmen's compensation? That is, if you go now work, you get accident, you die there. And right now, they deal with 2 cases of fatality. One, na the port, the other one, na routine. Now, people that will die in active service. My team go there, I know say, but people not be know now, say, the Ministry of Labor, one of the core functions will get now occupational safety and health. So, I've been in Geneva, my team go there, they work very hard, very professionally. One of the reasons we need for go there, you do a risk assessment, for example. This job here is risky for people then. We're supposed to provide so thing and for ameliorate the potential risk from occurring. Number 2, if the risk finally happen, you know, the ministry they go there, seal off because they get professional. It's not a normal criminal accident. This is a workplace accident. Then trained enough, then they do the investigation, then they do a report. Number 3, that report there, now for advice that management, waiting now for do next time for make sure say they improve health and safety in the workplace. And finally, now that assessment day, then go work with the medical doctor now for determining the degree of disability. For example, if you hand cut, we can assign percentage to run on that basis, then they award you compensation. Right. So all of that is done. As I talk to you, the port's fatality, this morning I met with the family. This afternoon, right now as I talk to you, then they wait for me, the port's leadership, MSC leadership, Mediterranean Shipping Company, who's the guy in the work. Then Saturday, we're talking to them because I think really, if you go by the workman's compensation, it's very insulting. Yes, it's very, very insulting.
Because the act's not from...
The act 1952.
Right.
Yeah? So the good news is, as I talk to you, we now get in Parliament the Occupational Health and Safety Bill for enactment. We will speak to current and emerging challenges in the sector. You know why we have to treat it seriously? Each and every one of us can get occupational accidents, workplace accidents. Where they go. Now that makes large. We know they cover this now. We know one of the most, you know, men will be supposed to meet today. Let's not talk now. They go talk under. We have been the Ministry of Information. And men will put together the IMC law. Not so? Not so? All our implements a lot left and so element to go and make no more the way to go. So where you come out, where you get more problem, you don't even get out for it. I have seen very hard-working journalists that will mold the opinion of this country. They retire, there's nothing to fall back on. Because successive ministries don't fail. Me, I'm not going to fail. If you cannot comply, we'll shut down the business.
Right.
We'll shut down the business.
Right.
Not all, no more, all side. Watching space in coming days.
All right. Well, the minister don't talk about all the things that we do for enthusiastically defend the rights and welfare of the workers in a salon, including, as he say, if you na business, you get your workman them, you know they take care of their welfare properly, the law give the power for shuts down that business them. Now, time for ask the questions. Let's see the hands. We know the rules. Please don't make Larry repeats the rule again. Ask your question. We don't want no preface. You ask your question direct, and then we get them. The lady then I ask on the number 1, the gentleman the number 2, the other man the number 3, this man number 4, this man 5. So the first sounds I take people waiting at the table here, and then the next one I come on the outside. So when I pass the mic for me quick, let's go.
Hello, Mina Erika Bangura from Hands of Radio. So I want to throw this question to Minister Swarray. Making mention of skills is very, very key. So I want to know what's not the ministry in plan for integrate vocational training and skills development into the national education system for better prepare the workforce for the demands of the labor markets. And I also want to know, you make mention, say, the ministry don't collect over 60 million euros, where they go directly to the consolidated funds. I want to make you please give a detail of how this fund here so they be utilized for support labor market initiative and other related projects them. And also to Madam Lacey, all right. How the Sierra Leone Labor Congress they collaborate with the Ministry of Employment labor and social security for address issues such as informal employment and for ensure say worker in the informal sector be also protected. And
All right.
lastly,
I think say I've been really want to give all the chance, but I think say you don't exhaust your quota. Thank you.
Mina John Kelly Mara, I report for Daybreak newspaper. Mr. Minister, the minimum labor wage on Salonians 800 leons, and also a bag of rice in more than 1 million leons. So what do you go do for upgrade the minimum wage for ordinary Salonians and survive? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mara.
Yeah. My name na Mahmoud Silla from the Nature newspaper. Dr. Edwin, waiting National Monitoring and Evaluation Agency they do for late disbursement and under disbursement to ministry, department, and agency. As you rightly mentioned, budget call circular is out, but some of the challenges where ministry, department, and agency then they raise to Minister of Finance is late and under disbursement of fund to them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think number 4 on this side. Now the gentleman, I think, then the number 4, and then the party number 5.
Honorable Ibrahim Sarah Sisi, Voice of Salon Radio. Mr. Minister, how una they go about for track the illegal agents them where they do their overseas services there for we brothers and sisters the way they travel? And as you say in a statement, say some in Libya right now they cry for help. And some now in prison in Turkey we get over 300 Sierra Leoneans within Turkey. So how you ministry they do about that for say we secure safety job for brothers and sisters there overseas?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamal.
Mohamed Kamara, The Watch, and Sankara Media Hub Limited. Madam, from the Swarray Labour Congress, you intervene between the work. This is for the interest of the Minister of Labour who just came in. I don't know whether he knows about this. You stand as guarantor between the workers over the Misak. Now the waste management, over 200 of them, where they want protest, we call them, when I call the mayor made a promise that say it go pay them the benefit. And take into consideration the volume of documents that I get. And before I knew that so they come, I will check again. Believe it, the mayor only paid 25 of them. What was the further investigation? And you will agree with me, say, Una, the Swarray Labour Congress, when the Sierra Leone Okada Riders Association will not get business because what they do, I was there at the last meeting they held with the Minister of Internal Affairs where they say, you, Labour Congress, when they call upon you, when I try for slotting on that candidate, thank you.
Mr. Kamal, they still don't understand though. When I get the mic,
Excuse
he
me,
said the second
madam,
part for the question. I understand
I know.
that.
I was fortunate enough for day where the Minister of Internal Affairs, Major General Taluva, been trying to negotiate with the drivers' union, Okada riders. We've been going to go too much political before the so-called elections. Now, the convention say they not get business again with Swarray Labour Congress because there was a time, the preceding elections, when they called upon you people, when I show interest for slice of slot, a president will be the 20th, they don't like it. How
So now, whose group this?
The Swarray Okada Riders Association.
So Okada Rider then say they don't mix for Labour Congress again.
No more.
Because Labour Congress we don't try for work them bad.
Yes, sir. Coach.
So you try for ask now, waiting Labour Congress, waiting at the reaction to that.
Yes, sir. Coach, the Minister of Internal Affairs,
Yes,
and
sir.
Major General Taluva, when they watch me now live,
Thank
it took
you.
place at this conference hall of the Minister of Internal Affairs. Thank you.
Una no pa Kamara no zo. Naina we resident celebrity. Naina the only celebrity na ya. The other celebrity and then at this stage. Now you no more get right for talk long now, and I no more they give the mic to them. Everybody else now not so celebrity. We all know that day. All right, so we get 5 questions. Well, more than 5 questions, but 5 questioners. Mr. Minister, you know the most popular person I am. You plan for integrate vocational training and skills into the education system, and how the money, the 16 million, they fund labor initiatives, and how Labor Congress, they collaborate Dana for Labor Congress on informal employment. But there's also a question about the minimum wage for you, the minister. So maybe you could take that one in there. And then the other one about how you track illegal overseas employments and people really come exploit. Basically, it's trafficking. How would it track this trafficking issue and make sure say Alunians and they get safe jobs overseas? So why don't you try for take that one in there quickly, and then we can to Labor Congress, and then we use again one more question.
Very, very, very quick. Illegal overseas agents then. I know that the ministry don't give licenses to 23 private recruitment agencies. They don't publish them from time to time. And advise our unions now the only people that now we for do business with. Because now the straight and narrow path. Now the legal, now the dignified migration pathway. Yeah? But in spite of our best efforts then, people then still prefer for go back here. So man they tell you say I sell all my hosts for go overseas. But look, like the recruitments are all they do. You know, they pass 6 million because you got to take passports, you got to do medical, you got to go to do training. Not all they do, agents they all accredit, they do. But still, the point with it is, people in this country here, but people like for cut corner. Because if you can't have the straight and narrow path, you got to go through an induction process with formal, you got to go through medical, you got to go through value system, cultural sensitivity and other training before you go. So some people still prefer to do that. So we will again flag the companies and they were legal for do recruitment for overseas employment. So anybody who you see,
what's the list there?
The list available. I'll publish it on the website just now.
All right.
I will share out on that.
Publish and then give me let say put out there and we will enforce that.
I will do that, sir. Consider that done. In fact, I forget. Gentlemen and ladies who are accompanying me from the Ministry of Employment, Labor and Social Security, do you want to grapple and see una? I'm not alone. I came well loaded, eh?
Naboku.
Yes, Uboku. Boku. Okay, gentlemen, sit down. In fact, I forget to tell you one important thing. Una ever know that the Ministry of Employment, Labor and Social Security, they also do social safety net. Social safety nets, now for them people that were really vulnerable, poorest of the poor. So this year, we don't target over 11,000 of them in various districts there. We're ready for give them money pretty soon. Yeah, with support from the World Bank and the government of Sierra Leone. So a lot is happening at the Ministry of Employment, just so that you know. Okay, so the other bits after that one, the minimum wage. Me and the Secretary General, all the time make plaba for that one day. You know, all the time they say, look, we can't ask. We don't threaten today. Yesterday, finally, I sent me a letter. I said they want to negotiate minimum wage. But in the Employment Act 2023, provision they say you get forget the Joint National Negotiating Board, you get for convener, and the minister is responsible for convening that one day. Now yesterday we'll get some. I'll go for share with the Minister of Finance and other partners, and we'll begin to discuss them. Because Minister aware say times are hard, things are difficult, times are challenging. The current minimum wage, when at 800,000 leons, even though government is doing better, it's not good for many people. Yeah? You know, you talk about buying a bag of rice, you are spot on, that's very correct. Where I sit, I know that. But I'm also aware of the challenging times, the budgetary situation. But let the conversation start. Let we see. I would want an improvement in my terms and conditions of service. In service, so never I want to talk about other people and say, but look, my friend, they say you're not going to look us. Now, for beginning, I had 2 week cabinet force. You know, I don't tell them, say, no, where you see Papa, you know, now the beginning force, they sort out. You can't to sell it. But that is not to say, if they sort it out, it's not going to like around the last one has to, so the JNNC get for C. Yeah, we'll go for sit down. Yeah, after consultations with various parties for discussing minimum wage. So somebody they ask, you like the Ministry of Employment, you want to learn the good money law use them for be present. Well, unfortunately, all money the way they collect, they send and directly to the consolidated fund. And on the NRA, the issue self, then they pay. Then just they bring the receipt to allow and reconcile. So it doesn't come to us. We just know the figure we don't collect, we don't facilitate so far. You talk about the integration of tech work and skills training na the curriculum, right? Yes, so I know say there's a paper before cabinet tomorrow. The Minister for Technical and Higher Education, they bring a paper tomorrow. Do something, you know, that, yes. So that's the spirit. Government knows say, we'll get to the all when they put the manifesto together, consolidating the gains and accelerating development, transformation. We've been talking about the missing middle level manpower. That is where the jobs are. Go to industry, go to this light, medium manufacturing industries, go to the mines. That is where the real big jobs are. And I'm making them bring expert them for us. We all know they prepare ourselves for that. So if we have to claim back our future, we have to prepare skills and competency requirements for the entity.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Yes, apt. Make I just take your mic and ask Namia. The question relates to late disbursement and under disbursement. This is not part of our purview. If yes, which one I do bottom?
Yeah, this fine question, and this is not a question we don't ask. Ministers themselves don't ask that anyway. Almost every other person. Two things. We for realize say, number one, we budget is small. Revenue where this country they generate is really small. So the ministry really get for doing a whole lot of mathematics in terms of disbursement. Even me, we see you can suffer from that. You know me say when I don't say then they give you 5 cents this year, you go able to get the 5 cents. If you're lucky, you can. But we also realize that during that same year, if I don't say they give you 5 cents, if something happen at the country, that 5 cents not go reach you because part of that money will be shifted. I'll give you an example. For the past 2-3 years, security situation in this country don't go up. So if they have given you 5 cents, the chances are, when was the first one? August? August 10? August 10, they shifted money to those areas. Anytime I can attack the camp, then therefore shift the situation. So that is what we suffer from under disbursement. That's not one of the answers. Yes, there are areas over disbursement can be. That's just a simple situation. If security now been 10 cents, the chances are it will go 20 cents, taken from other places. Besides the underlying consideration that we not get enough money. Within and even money where they do not stand the give. May I just tell her now what we do. Our job is analysis. With the analyzer and tell finance say, hey, this area was under disbursed, this area was over disbursed, this area got exactly what you wanted.
Not get no power for compel finance for say, well, next time we have for budget better and all. That report still when they do the analysis to what end?
Right. We did discuss. In fact, just yesterday I was with the minister. This not to be the main topic, but things like that come up. That yeah, they are now trying to stagger disbursements based on the little piece, I would say, what we don't get. And the satisfaction actually that the tripartite, for example, don't go. So our advice is given to them both in writing and most times by engagement. So we'll go see, I am hoping, we'll go see improvement in this next semester where MDAs then will begin get at least with some consistency, some of them disbursements.
Thank you so much, sir. Labour Congress, I want to let you take this question on the informal economy. Then I wanted the Secretary General respond to Mr. Kamayan's question, especially around the challenges with the Okada Union and all that. But you can start since you're in the panel, yes.
Okay, so this is a project right now we say Labour Congress they embark on for ensure they formalize the informal economy because there we are seeing a gap right now where the need for coming and address. So there is ILO recommendation 204 where they talk around that, and there are many projects where they in now for make sure they formalize all informal sectors, because formalizing the informal sector gets a great gain to the government. So there are projects right now where ministry.
So they work on that for bringing the informal sector.
Yes. Even before I can also say if there was a meeting where we get for formalizing enterprises, because say there are different sectors in the informal sector. So that's one project funded by EUA, Ministry of Trade, the champion. Then get a consultant where we go get engagement for know the different challenges and gaps and how they go come in for address them. But that's my main project for ensure say they formalize the informal economy.
All right, thank you. Please pass to the Secretary General. You can sit down. It's okay. Sit down now. Okay, the question to you now about this issue of the challenges between UNA